Those first 72 hours after delivery are crazy. They are a mixture of emotions, hormones, healing, and meeting your baby for the very first time. Whether you had a C-section or a normal delivery, this video is going to walk you through exactly what to expect. The bleeding, the breastfeeding, the tears, the joy, and the unexpected things that no one ever talks about. Because mamita, those first 3 days, day 1 to day 3 are no joke. So you really deserve to be prepared. What's up, beautiful people? If you're new here, my name is Faith Ahumuza and I'm a 28-year-old mother of 2. And today we're talking about something every woman needs to hear about. What really happens in the first 3 days after delivery or after giving birth to your baby. Whether you're pregnant with your first child or you're just curious about what to expect, I'm going to walk you through the raw, honest, beautiful, and sometimes messy truths about what exactly happens. So relax and let's get real. After birth, you might shake uncontrollably, and that is very normal. It's just your body reacting to the hormone crash. Waves will push on your tummy to make sure that uterus shrinks back, and yes, that is very painful. Then you will start bleeding immediately, like a very heavy period. You may or you may not pee right away after birth. Trust me, the first pee and the first poop after delivery is a whole journey. Emotionally, you're on a roller coaster. You may cry just by looking at your baby, cry because your partner is away, cry because they've given you the food that you don't like. Like literally anything can make you cry. And then breastfeeding, that might start now on day 1, but don't expect perfection, of course. Colostrum will come in first, you know, that yellowish breast milk that comes in first before the actual milk comes out. And then your baby may latch on or may not, because some babies have issues with, breastfeeding on day 1, and they will just have to learn over time. So that's very okay if your baby doesn't breastfeed on day 1. Before I go to day 2, let me just give you a brief experience of mine. With my first child, when I was a very brand new mom, my husband was my birth partner, so we're together in the labor suite. And when the baby came out like this, when she came out like this, I had to place her on my chest, and the nurses or the midwives told me to pray for her. I was full of emotions, I was mega full of emotions, such that I could not even open my mouth to pray for her. So I was just you know what, take her and pray for her. I had mixed emotions. I was, of course, happy that she's here, but on the other hand, I was still traumatized about the experience that I had gone through. Remember, I'm a first-time mom. People will tell you all about delivery, contractions, what, but you will not get the real feeling of what the contractions actually feel like. So at that time, I was still overwhelmed and I was still traumatized about what exactly I had gone through, the pain of the contractions. And then they're bringing the baby for me to pray for her. I could literally not open my mouth. So I just told my husband, take one, pray for her. So he prayed for her. They took her, cleaned her, and then dressed her up, placed her in a baby cot just besides me. And I was so lucky my breast milk actually came in quick. Because after a while, after cleaning me and sewing me up, if usually, now this is something to expect also, if you're a first time mom. Usually, not all the time, but usually it really depends. Sometimes it depends on the how big your baby is or how small your girly is. And yes, sometimes you might get tears, so they'll have to sew you up because they don't want her to remain huge. After doing all of that, I had to put her on the breast, and I was very lucky she latched on really quickly and latched on very well. So that is literally what happened on the first day. Then moving on to the second day, day 2 after delivery of your bundle of joy. This is where now reality hits. You are sore, you are exhausted, you're having visitors coming in and out or not, because it really depends on you. There are some people that choose to have their visitors come at home after they have been discharged, or sometimes the hospital doesn't allow visitors. But personally, I had visitors coming in from day 1, but in most cases, visitors usually come in on day 2. So you have to expect that on your second day after delivery. Now, this is what actually happens. The first thing, your breasts are going to feel heavier because now the milk production is, increasing and it's coming in well. And you might be emotional and overwhelmed because of the baby, the people around you, like you really want to rest and you cannot rest because you have to attend to the people that are around you, like all that. Expect to be overwhelmed if you didn't get enough rest the previous night. And then the baby is cluster feeding. If you're lucky, your baby actually starts breastfeeding or latching on pretty well from day one. By day two, you're going to be having to breastfeed every hour. You know what I mean? Like personally, my personal experience, my baby breastfeed a lot of times when they are, little in the first 3 months. They breastfeed like literally all the time. As long as I see their eyes open, they're on the breast. So I think that's why my babies are really huge when they are young. But yeah, that also contributes to, the exhaustion and all that. But it's healthy for the baby, it's healthy for your baby to be breastfeeding like all the time. So expect the cluster feeding, like expect your baby to be on your breast all the time. They will breastfeed nonstop, and that's very normal. You might feel some after birth pains. They kind of feel like contractions, but they are not contractions, obviously, because now the baby is out. But every time you're putting the baby on your breast to breastfeed, you will get pain in your lower abdomen. Personally, I didn't get this on with my first child, but I got this with my second child. Like every time I would put her on my breast to breastfeed, I would get pain. Like I would get a flashback of the contractions that I was getting previously. But they are, they are painful, but they are not as painful, of course, as the contractions that bring the baby. So expect that as well. It happens for some moms, it doesn't happen for others. So just expect it. We're talking about things to expect that, most people don't really talk about. And then the bleeding. Yeah, day two, you are still bleeding pretty much. Like, a heavy flow. So usually when you're going to the hospital, you have to carry along with you maternity pads. For some moms, they use gauze and cotton. So it really depends on where you're from. Some use gauze and cotton, others use maternity pads. So expect to be bleeding on day two, to still be bleeding like heavily, really, for at least a week. Yeah, this is going to be going on for at least a week. Some moms, it happens for a short while others actually go up to as long as 2 weeks. So yes, second day, heavy period. Still on day two, you might still get the emotions, like the mixed emotions. You might cry out of nowhere. I've seen it happen to people. Personally, I think I was the best of myself. Like I didn't get a lot of emotions. Like I would really be happy, mainly happy, but there are those that just, cry. Everything just makes them cry. Seeing their baby in their arms makes them cry. Someone saying something that they don't like makes them cry. There are also some moms that fail to breastfeed by day two. The milk has failed to come out yet. I've seen very many of those, like this is going to keep them emotional. Like they could just tear out of the blue. So if you're a husband or if you're a caretaker and you see your woman or someone close to you just crying out of the blue, you have to really find out what's happening to them, because a lot of things be going on through our heads after delivery, because now we have a person that you have to take care of, like you have a person to live for, right? So day two is still a whole mixture of emotions. I just want to encourage young moms that are expecting your babies to make sure I have someone close by, to make sure I have someone to talk to. Don't do this alone. Like you cannot do this alone. If you have the support, just use it, take it. It's a chance for you. Now, let's go to day three. Your boobs might feel rock hard, like really hard and very painful. Personally, I got mastitis with my first child. Like, I have small boobs, but I had huge, like huge, in that I could just walk with my arms apart. All my nipples became red because of too much breast milk. I had to go back to the hospital before, on my third day. Now that we're talking about the third day, I had to go back to the hospital. to talk to my gynecologist, like asking him what's happening. I had fevers, He just told me, no, it's because of the breast milk. It's just too much breast milk. Just do the compressions, do the expression, and all will be well. Just keep putting the baby on the breast, and yeah, all will be well. But do you know what it means having wounds on the nipple, and you have to put the baby to suck on the wounds? Can you imagine? Yeah, it was pretty painful. Like I would literally cry when my daughter was breastfeeding. So yeah, all that is expected. And well, this is where it gets interesting. You may leak milk everywhere. I know the feeling. Someone will be like, why not put on a bra? Yo, do you know what it means having breasts that are broke hard, very painful, and then you're putting them in a bra? That feeling, it is so uncomfortable. So what some moms do, they decide to, put on something that is really light, like a vest or something that is pretty light, and just let it leak. Disgusting for some, but yeah, that's motherhood. Yes, the flow of the milk when the baby is breastfeeding will be a bit high. So this is the time when you have to really learn how to correctly breastfeed your baby so that you avoid your baby choking on the too much milk that is coming out of your breast, because it's really high paced. Still under 3, uterus is still trying to shrink back to its normal size, so still expect to get the cramps as you're breastfeeding, or sometimes when you're not breastfeeding, you can just get some cramps in your abdomen. But if you get too much pain that is, not normal at all, like mega pain, you can always go back to your gynecologist or any doctor and ask them about it. Still on the third day, usually moms that give birth normally are discharged from the hospital. The 3, for both of my kids, the 3, I'm out of the hospital and I'm back home. Well, going home will feel amazing. Like it will feel, you'll feel excited because you're going back home. But yeah, you also get terrified because now that you're having this little person with you, just 3 days old, you probably don't have any medics or any midwives at home, and it's just going to be you and your caretaker or your partner or anyone. It's normal to be terrified about what will happen to this child if this happens. Yeah, so it will be exciting at the same time terrifying. Your belly will still look pregnant. Let me just give you a brief story. When I had just given birth to my second child, it was day 3, and my daughter, my firstborn, got sick, so she had to be brought to the same hospital that I was in, for the doctors, for the pediatrician to check her ear. So I was up on the 4th floor and she was down on the first floor. So I had to go down because on the 3rd day you're literally walking. On the 3rd day, if you are normal delivery mom, 3rd day you are good to go. Like you're as good as normal. It's just sometimes that it's just some small things that don't feel normal. So I went down to take her to the pediatrician, and then some old lady was sitting there. She was watching me from when I was, coming from the steps. I was putting on a black tight dress, like really tight body hugger dress. So she looked at me. I saw her, but I didn't give her attention. So I took my daughter to the pediatrician. Then after, went to the pharmacy. So when I was going back to the 4th floor, the lady called me aside. She's like, "Hey, can I speak to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, no worries." It's like, "I would like to advise you next time when you get pregnant, please don't put on such dresses." I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "You're probably 4 5 months pregnant, and that kind of dress that you put on, I don't think it's healthy for the baby that is inside you." Yo, I burst out and laughed. I'm like, "Lady, I've just given birth. I gave birth 2 days ago. It's just that my belly is still looking like I'm pregnant." She looked at me, and I think she was kind of ashamed because she was talking about something that she has no idea of. Yo, sometimes you guys, you don't have to just talk to people to comment about things that you're not, sure of. Sometimes it could be someone just having a big belly, right? So in this case, I had given birth, but my belly was still looking pregnant. So on the third day, still expect your belly to still look pregnant. Some moms might feel a bit disconnected from their babies. That's completely normal because of, I told you about the emotions and the hormones and everything. The bond is going to grow over time. Like you're going to have to be around this person for a whole long time. So you have to create that bond. In the first 3 days, it's completely normal because of the trauma and all that you've gone through to deliver. Now here are my quick tips about surviving the first 3 days. Accept help. If there is anyone that is around you, just allow them to change the baby's diapers. You're going to have to change the diapers all the time, like all the time. In the first 3 days, the baby's poop is probably black. Don't be shocked if you see black poop coming out of your baby. That is completely normal for the first 3 days. And then after 3 days, when the baby starts breastfeeding or taking in formula or anything else, the poop will become, and have a different color. Ask for help if there is anyone that is around you for them to, change the diapers, bathe your baby and all that. Secondly, stay hydrated. Make sure you're always having a bottle of water with you. Thirdly, rest when you can. Usually, what I usually tell parents, people that have given birth after me, I always tell them, make sure every time you see your baby asleep, just put your head down, because you have no idea where the sleep will come from, but you will sleep because your body is exhausted. Sometimes you just want to stay awake, but your body is exhausted. So every time the baby sleeps, please, mama, also sleep. Fourth tip, use nipple balms if you have one, or express breast milk if you feel like you're having a lot of milk and it's bringing you fevers and pain, like what I told you earlier about what happened to me. You can always apply the nipple balm so that your nipples don't get cracks and sores and all that. Or alternatively, you can always express the milk out of your breast, keep it for another feed. You're learning and you're still healing. Let me tell you, motherhood, it will never be the same experience. The first baby, the second baby, or the 10th baby, it will never be the same experience. So you keep learning. Every time you have a new baby, new things might happen, and learning will not end. So give yourself some grace. If you're watching this video before you actually give birth to your baby, save this video because you might need it later. If you have already had your baby, well, congratulations. But well, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you love it, and let me know in the comment section what you think of the video. If there is anything that you have to add for a mother that is expecting, or for a mother that has just given birth, well, go on to the comment section and write something there. For your returning subscribers, thank you for always supporting me. See you in my next video. Bye.